We'll do the mints. We'll cover the game plan later, don't worry. How are you so confident with uh the daily SMT, the daily bullish fair value gap, and the intraday order flow? When you recruit for the client, I will ask people today in stream. The Rubes, the Turtis, this day, what's up, brother? Mints, what's up, man? Take care, bro. That's funny. Yeah. Daily FG was nice and hidden in there. It's a little sweep, then bullish, maybe. Possible. It's good ITD thinker. I'm gonna wait for New York Open for buys. For now, I'm leaving to bullish. Okay, as long as you have a plan, I think that's good. Yeah, we'll talk about what I'm looking for. I'm here early. What's up, bro? What's good, Flores? You come live every day, Monday to Friday? Yep. Good morning from Portugal. My girl's from Portugal. My prediction for gold. Gold's bullish. Yeah, I'm here every day, bro. I've been live every day for like 2 years almost now, or a year and a half, or something crazy. I would lock your account and just get out, bro. If I were you, it's the day before NFP, bro. Just come back tomorrow. It'll be easier tomorrow. What's your predictions for NT? We'll cover game plan at 9:25. What's the reason you mark out the opening high and opening range low? Opening range gap, high and low. The reason I mark the opening range gap high and low is because it's basically a fair value gap that forms every single day. So I can use it to my advantage. Almost done with PO3 mastery. Nice, brother. You have family in Portugal? No, not me, but my girlfriend does. And I will visit one day. 10 a.m. USD ISM. Yep, there's 10 a.m. news today as well. How to find OPHL? What's OPHL? How do you market it? I never heard it in mentorship. How to mark out opening range gap? I will show you guys today. We have to wait till 9:30 because that's when it forms. I'll show you guys how to mark it out. It's very crucial. If you're gonna day trade at 9:30 open, I think this is something that you should use because it's there every single day and there's no ambiguity. It's the same points. Uh, These are my price levels for today. I wouldn't look for anything other than these because I'm not expecting a big day. So I'd recommend keeping it nice and narrow. Easy objective today. I don't expect a large move. It's the day before non-farm payroll, but we'll talk about it when it's actually we'll talk about it shortly. How do you check if the news today or any days are allowed on Alpha Futures? Okay, there's a couple ways. The easiest way is just go to Alpha Futures, go to their notice board, and every time they post the news that you're not supposed to trade 2 minutes before and after. It even says the rule right here. So Alpha Futures Discord, it says all the news. You can trade through them. Just make sure you don't enter or exit 2 minutes before. So it'll say all those news here. That's the easiest way to do that. Why did you never promote the no activation fee? I'm going to promote it right now. Listen, guys. I'm going to put you guys on Alpha Future. If you haven't ever gotten a payout, okay, then I probably wouldn't do this unless you have the money. Yes, we'll do game plan. On evals, you can do whatever you want. Yeah, don't worry about evals. I don't think there's any restrictions. Hold on. Hold on. All right. Gonna post right now. Look at this. Alpha Futures Advanced Account. It's the most potential account that you can get. It's the hardest one. It has the hardest rules. They're not too hard, but it has the hardest rules, but it has the best parameters. No consistency rule. No news restrictions. No scaling rule. You can use as much as you want by day one. $15,000 payout cap. 90% profit split every 5 winning days. The Alpha Futures Advanced account, normally, it's too expensive. However, there's no activation fee now. So if you pass the Advanced account, you do not have to pay an activation fee for this month only, and also if you use the code. So no activation fee on the Advanced account. You do not need to subscribe to market data. No, they will give you market data with your subscription to Alpha Futures. To be honest, I don't know what that is, but it's probably a good thing. On gold, it won't be too big of an impact, bro. Listen, on the zero account, the maximum payout is 1,500. That's the zero account. That's the cheapest account with Alpha Futures. This one is the most expensive account, but the max payout is 15,000. However, there are no activation fees on this account, only for this month of September. So only in September, there's no activation fees for the advanced account. You guys can see the promotion. Zero activation fee only on advanced. The other accounts 10% off if you like them. The code is Gatie if you guys want to take advantage of the zero activate. I got one eval. I've never once purchased an advanced account from Alpha Futures, but I got one eval and we'll see how we do with it. It's like Top Step. No, it's a lot better than Top Step because you can request from your payouts. You can request 15,000. It's 90% split from the days from the get-go. No news restrictions. No activation fee. No consistency rule. And no scaling contract size from day one. You have all of them. Rules on the zero account, 40% consistency, and if you want to pay out, that's the only rule. If you want to pay out 5 winning days, request 50%. 1500 max. Yep, this is only good for experienced traders like that. If you haven't gotten your first payout, then just get the other accounts. Get the other accounts. And if you guys use my code, let me know because I will enter you in a giveaway for an advanced account. No, I'm not paid. I wish I was paid to say this. But no, I'm not paid to say this. I wish, bro. I wish I was paid to say this. Oh yeah, speaking of the PC set, the guy never responds to me. Look, let me show you guys. Alright, we're gonna have to... Guys, we might have to... No, not this guy. I actually don't have the list anymore. So we're gonna have to figure something out. He left the Discord. Oh no, he's right here. This guy, bro. Anyway, we'll get into it. But look, I messaged him. I added him in the Discord. He never responded, so we're gonna have to figure it out. Anyways, it's 9:25, so it's locked in, and then we can figure out what to do with it. I don't know what to do. I'll have to ask Alpha Futures. I don't know. Anyways, game plan. Listen very closely today. Everyone, listen very closely. Today is the day before non-farm payroll. I say this every single month at the beginning of the month. Every single week, the first trading week of the month, Friday is non-farm payroll. Right here. Non-farm employment change. They changed what it called, whatever. The point is, this is a huge party on this Friday. Thursday is usually not that eventful. It's not the best. It's not the cleanest. You can already tell by the Asia high and low, London staying inside that range. That's a red flag. So what can you look for today if you're going to trade? One, you always look for low-hanging fruit objectives. Two, you only take A+ setups because the narrative is not that strong. So if you're going to take a trade, it better be something as clear as day, you know, like a clean sweep with a clean fair value gap, with a clean shift, maybe inside the macro or 10 a.m. open, targeting equal highs or something that's not too far. Like everything must align if you're going to decide to trade today because it's not that clean. High of day is a potential target. Midnight open, 8:30, short-term buy side, London low, Asia low. Notice how I'm not looking anything external. I have Tuesday's high marked out, but I'm not looking for anything external. I want to play inside the intraday price range because I'm not expecting a large price run. So how do you go about it? Well, look for setups from discounts to premium. If I know it's going to be range bound, I always say take setups targeting in rather than in targeting out. Because if the market's going to be range bound, you never know when it's going to switch up. For example, here it goes down, then it goes up, then it goes down, here it might go up, and we're not trying to play around that. So rely heavily on macros, new candle opens, and rely on setups going from outside the range, targeting inside the range or the opposing side of the range. So what we could potentially do as a game plan, look at London lows, see if we can take London lows, see if we can take Asia lows. Wait, don't trade inside this range, in my opinion. If you want to, you can do whatever you want. I'm not going to be trading inside this range. I'm going to let one side get taken. And then it's range day bias, right? So it doesn't matter if we go up or down. It doesn't matter. As long as we go to the extreme. If we're at an extreme, we can look for a move back in. If we're at an extreme, we can look for a move back in. It doesn't matter if it's up or down. There is no bias. The bias is range. That's what I'm anticipating. I'm anticipating the Nasdaq to stay relatively range bound. Maybe it'll explore, you know, something here and something here, but it's still going to be relatively range bound. It's not going to be like yesterday, which was such a nice range to the upside and downside. So you saw what the whole range up, the whole range down. See how we're moving external from the session? I'm not expecting too much of that today. So that is the game plan. I have an eval open. And we'll see if we'll work on that. Let's go Yoshi. Yoshi too rich to give him anything. It's asking me to pay 41. You don't have to pay that 41. So message me on Discord. That something must be mistaken. Did you get that payout on Funded Next? I'm eligible for the Funded Next payouts, but I'm only at like 400 or something. So we got to keep going. Try to get, 2 more R maybe. And then maybe we can request. So still working on getting the max payout amount. From what time do you have your Asia session in London indicated? Good question. Also, let me log into this paper account. I have an eval open, but like I said, the only way we're taking a trade is if it's A+ and it's from external to internal. That's it. 2 criteria. It doesn't matter high or low, but it needs to form A+, and it needs to form from the extreme of the range to targeting inside of the range. And that's it. It's a simple game plan, and that's it. It's pretty simple. We're going to keep chat open today, so today's a great day to ask questions and stuff. Yep, only evals today for me. I'm going to be straight up with you guys. I'm not even signed into my Fundeds. I'm not even signed into my live account. It's not worth the risk for me. Because if I see something really clean and I want to execute, I don't want to have to deal with what we're taking on. No Fundeds today, just my eval. Is Funded Next new? No, they've been around in the Forex for a long time. They just added a futures section. So to some extent. Let's see what TikTok chat's saying. Wind up on the today bad? Yeah, exactly. Today's bad. It's a great way to put it, basically. I say this pretty much every single time. Tomorrow equals NFP. Big party, big players. Today equals day before NFP. Everyone waiting for tomorrow. That's pretty much the premise of why the day before non-farm payroll usually, not always, usually is not the most eventful, which is why my bias is range bound. If we go down, I look up. If we go up, I look down. As long as the setup's A+, we can execute an account on the evals. Weekly open. WO stands for weekly open. It helps me classify discount and premium for the current trading week. NYKL, that's New York Kill Zone open. That's 9:30 opening price. TDO is true day open. That's midnight opening price. All levels relative to my power of 3 trading model. How to take payout on a funded account where the end of day. Great question. The only account that you can do that with, Philly, is Alpha Futures. Alpha Futures is the only one where it won't blow the account. Any other prop firm, you have to build a buffer. Meaning you have to make enough money so that when you take a payout, you still have room in the account to trade with. This is the 1 minute chart. We always watch on the 1 minute chart. I'll let you know, Kenneth. I already know like some people from the YouTube stream who've already gotten 2. They got them faster than me. I know someone who's gotten 5. No activation fee on advanced accounts with Alpha Futures. That's it. The other account, well, Zero account never has activation fee. But so it's the Zero account and the advanced accounts with Alpha Futures that has no activation fee this month. So if I make 5K, I can have a 4K buffer on 100K. If you request 1K, well, you'd have, no, actually, on Alpha Futures, if you make 5K, if you request 5K, then you have 1K, 1K left. Because it's 6,000. So it gives you that extra 1,000. It won't just get set to 0, you know? My normal stop loss in ticks, not even points. Damn, bro. I don't know. Maybe it's usually, I'd say, around 20 to 40 points. So anywhere from 80 to 40 times 4. Anywhere from 80 to 160 points. Ticks, sorry. On average, depending on the trading day, right? Some days it's bigger, some days it's smaller. How many macros do you usually trade on evals? Usually, if I had to guess, it's probably like 15 to 30. Again, depends on the stop loss. I'm looking to risk 750 on my 50K evals, so whatever it goes. It's okay, Yusuf. I appreciate you being nice, but we don't have to compare. You know, everyone's different. Maybe I just resonate better with you, you know? This is just 9:30 open. Probably going to be the largest. Like, a lot of the time what happens, usually there's two scenarios. Scenario one, the day before NFP is one direction and just keeps going. Scenario two, it's going to put in a range here and then stay range bound. Tuesday will take, yeah, I mean, I honestly, Tuesday high would have been the best scenario, but possible to look for shorts from Tuesday high. 934, I would use this as first presentation because it's also there on ES. So today we have a pretty clear first presentation fair value gap. Dude, we gotta fix this, man. I don't like this border. Get out of here. Background. I don't know what background. Ooh, I kind of like that actually. It looks pretty clean. This is typical. This is typical. Like a lot of the time it moves like this and doesn't give you any chance. Yes, there is an FEG here at 932, but one, it's really small. You know what? It is there on ES as well, actually. So I take that back. It is there on the S&P as well. I actually missed that. Do you teach here on live? Today I am. Well, usually I just talk about what I'm looking for. But today, since we're on eval, I will I'll have chat open, so I'm reading chat. We have 2-hour equal lows on ES, bro. Big bias, big bias. It is possible we take the high and move lower. That's possible. The higher time frame is still bullish. So if today happens to be an expansion day, well, that's okay. I mean, usually it's not, but and you listen. I'm not gonna take this short, but you could argue taking the short. Classic model. If it inverses. When funded, how many micros do you use on 50K funded? With 2,000 drawdown? On a 50K funded, usually it ends up being around 2 to 4. Use 3-minute time frame. Whenever I'm looking for an entry, I always go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Usually I enter on the 1, but sometimes it'll be like 2 or 3. You're reading chat here or YouTube? Today I'm reading both chats. Usually it's just YouTube though. Remember, every setup has got to be from external, outside the range, targeting in. Just like we said in the pre-market plan. Don't look for anything. I mean, you guys can do whatever you want, but I would never look for anything from in targeting out on a day when I'm expecting range. Go break even early. Take partials as soon as you can. Don't mess around with it because any move can fizzle out at any time. And the probability of it happening is greater than normal. A pretty nice classic model though. Oh, my date for the stream is wrong. I'll change it after. Thank you. Was yesterday an inside day? Yesterday was an inside day. Yeah. It's not really ripping. It looks like it's ripping a lot, but I mean, yeah, it's just 100 points. Just a high day. It's just 930 volatility. There's nothing crazy about this. You keep talking about what you're anticipating and not what the market is presenting. By the time the market presents it, it's too late. What do you want me to say? The market presented a short here from the inversion fair value gap. No, I'm going to say this inversion fair value gap could deliver a price lower because it's a high day. I don't believe people who say you have to react. Well, if you have to react, you probably missed the move at that point, you know. You react once you see your confirmation. The only reaction you should be doing is clicking the button once the model forms. That's the only reaction. Everything else is anticipation based on probability. That's what trading is. There's no SMT. I don't need SMT. SMT is never a qualification for me. But if it's for you, then good job waiting. Good job waiting. Today's most likely going to be a range day. What's your biggest payout? Mid to high 4 figures. Are you using NQ chart? Yeah, this is NASDAQ on the 1 minute. My sell limit didn't get filled up there at the IATG. Why use the sell limit? Why not just click sell anywhere from here to here? 8.25 range. Bullish today. The game plan is range day bias. If we go higher and take extremes, we look for lower. If we go lower and we take extremes, we look for higher. Only A+ setups. And I'm only on my eval today. I have a feeling that NASDAQ will take Tuesday high in ES non. This can be an SMT. Possible. Tuesday high, definitely a potential objective. So look, these setups inside the range, these are the ones I'm talking about I wouldn't take. Because they tend to fizzle out. You get a lot of situations where it's like, oh, it's like this, but then it's like this. I don't want to play inside that range. I like this setup. You have 930 takes the low and go up, or this takes the high and then goes down. Those are the best on a day where you're expecting range day bias. Remember, this is only true if you're expecting the market to be range bound. I am expecting the market to be range bound. Let me put that right here. Bias equals range bound. Best setups, extreme of range, targeting in, eval only for me. We'll see if we take out the low here. New week opening gap. Remember, we have London low, Asia low. It's possible. Can you show us what NQ chart you're using because you're in mine and different? This is MNQ on the 1 minute chart. If I go to NQ, it should be pretty much the same. Should be relatively the same. I'm on MNQ1 with beta adjust on. And yeah. We never marked out the opening range gap. So to mark out the opening range gap, let me show you guys the easiest way. So right click, settings. Oops, sorry. Right click your chart, settings, symbol, session, regular trading hours. See that gap? Mark out the closing price right here. I'll mark it out like this. Closing price to opening price. That's your gap. Now, if you want to do what I do, you mark out the high and the low, and then the 50%, unless you can eyeball it. So it looks like this. Those would be your quarters. That's how you mark out the opening range gap. Then you just go back to electronic trading hours, and you'll see the gap there. So we went above, broke down, retested 0, now coming to 50, and you see if we get the full closure. Now I'm going to remove the 0 marker because it's literally resting right inside new week opening gap. That's funny. It's pretty much overlapped perfectly. That's a good thing to see. The org only works if you have downloaded the app and not the... No, it should work on both. It should work on both. It definitely works on browser. You just have to be on the minute chart. You can't go to the daily chart and mark opening range gap. Doesn't make sense. You have to do it on like the 1 minute or 5 minute or whatever. But do it on the 1 minute so you can see the exact candle. What's good? What's good, Nazar? Go to the 1 minute chart, Adrian. And go on NQ. Enter 2 minis on that small sweep, done for the day. And there you go, bro. Not trading today on eval. If I said, like I said, extreme. For example, if we take London or Asia low and we get a setup like this, or CISD setup, that I could take that. on an eval. Is one SMT valid for you? SMT is a confluence for me. Is it a valid confluence for when my model forms? Sure. Well, as long as you have it, bro. You like the zero counts? Yep. If I start, I mean, I didn't start with the zero counts, but I did try the zero counts. I did get payouts with the zero counts. I prefer the standard because the potential for more payouts. But it's a good place to start. I would start with the thing. Your data is 1 minute late. Brother, this is the 9:44 candle, and it's currently 9:44. In 3 seconds, it's going to become 9:45. 3, 2, 1. It's 9:45. The 9:45 candle just opened. Let's go 2 chains. How is zero limited? The max payout's 1,500. I was thinking about getting the 100K zero, because then it's $3,000 max payout, but I just like the standard. I'm looking at Alpha Futures website, but I don't see how getting a payout doesn't breach the account. If you get a payout when you haven't made a buffer, then you can request a payout, and it will not blow the account. The rule is simple, Ryan. When you request a payout with Alpha Futures, your maximum loss limit does not get set to the starting account balance. So if you start with 50,000, you go to 52,000, and you request a payout, whatever you request, okay, in that case, you actually made a buffer because you made 2,000. Let's say you made 1,000. If you make 1,000 on a 50K account, you go to 51,000, right? You still have $2,000 to work with. So if you request 1,000, you still have $1,000. While on other firms, it would just blow the account if you requested the 1,000 you made. If you make 500, you can only withdraw 250. That's only on the zero account. So on the zero account, you're limited by 2 ways. 1, $1,500 max payout. 2, you can only request 50% of your profits. However, it's 90% split, so that is a bonus compared to the standard at first. Exactly, Percy. What's the bias? Range day bias. You can see this big yellow box. It doesn't blow the account, Joel. But let's say you make 1,000, you request 500, you have 500 left. It's probably going to get blown. But no, Alpha Futures does not require a buffer. It just reduces your maximum loss significantly. So you can, but you can't request it all. Like for example, Funded Next, great firm. But if you make $800 on Funded Next and you request 800, your account's gone. You know? The only reason on Top Step it reduces the maximum loss limit is because you can only request 50% anyways. So if you make 1,000, you can only request 500. Watch the 9:30, 10:30, and 10:50. Add 10 a.m. to that. Add 9:50 and 10 a.m. to that, and I think you have all the main key times. Well, that's just how I do it. You don't have to do that. Alpha Zero max payout is 1,500 on the 50K and 3,000 on the 100K. Which prop firm is the easiest to get a payout? The absolute easiest way to get a payout is the 50K standard account on Alpha Futures. What is the most amount of accounts you can have with Apex? 20 accounts with Apex. On a zero account, the profit split is 100. Zero account, the profit split is 90%, 10%. No activation fee for Alpha. If you get a zero account and an advanced account, no activation fee. Funded Next requires a buffer. It doesn't require a buffer. But like I said, if you make $800 and you request $800, the account gets blown. So there's no requirement, but you won't have longevity on the account unless you get a buffer. So zero to advanced at the same time. I wouldn't get those at the same time. If you're a beginner, get the zero. If you're more advanced, get the advanced. The advanced account's harder. What's the better advanced and standard, and what's the key differences? There's one main key difference. The advanced account has no consistency rule. You can make $10,000 in one day, and then 200, 200, 500, and then you can request a payout if you wanted to. There's no consistency rule. But the advanced account is harder to pass. Who do you get no activation fee? Alpha Futures has 3 account types. The zero account, which always has no activation fee. right? Then they have the advanced account, which only for this month has no activation fee. What is that candle? Just a regular candle. What? It's not a Diddy candle. What? How many points is that candle, man? Okay, I guess 53 points. It's a pretty strong candle. If someone was in long, they probably got burned. That's why I say don't trade inside the range. Wait for it to take extremes. That means bi-weekly on alpha. For the standard account, you can bi-weekly, yes. On the advanced account or the zero account, you can do it every week. So advanced, no activation fee for this month. Yes, exactly. And then the zero account is always no activation fee. If you're a beginner, I recommend the zero account. It's a lot cheaper and it's a lot easier. The advanced account, if you want to start going for a large payout and slowly build an account long term to make a lot of money from, advanced account. My boy tired from repeating the same thing. Yes, I am, bro. What is an activational fee? So with prop firms in the future space, once you pass the challenge account, you don't get your funded right away. You have to pay an activation fee. Unless the prop firm has a specific account or promotion that doesn't require that fee. You don't like Top Step? There's nothing wrong with Top Step. Alpha Future is just the better option for me. The payouts are easier, and I like the buffer. It's mostly TikTok with the questions, yeah. It's funny how TikTok always be asking this question. YouTube already knows, bro. Like, YouTube community is lit, man. The bias range price will likely go back to the New York range if it goes up. Yeah, exactly, pretty much. Pretty much. It'll keep drawing towards that 9:30 opening price, 8:30. See how all the opening prices are pretty close? Daily bias? Right here, brother. Big yellow box. There is no daily bias today. My intraday bias is price range. Higher time frame bias is still bullish. That's not going to change for the week. I'm still bullish on the week. I just don't expect today to be a big participant of the weekly range. Should I target London or Asia low? Target both. Although I prefer targeting Tuesday's high, but you can target both. But just don't open yourself up to too much risk. You know, break even when you can. Partial when you can. Maybe half your risk. Like, be careful. How about Take Profit Trader? Take Profit Trader is not bad. But I don't like their eval rules. Me personally, I don't like trading evals. And I want easy evals. I hate evals. For me, it's a lot easier to get a payout. If you give me a funded account with Alpha Futures and you give me an eval, I'll get more. It's better chance I'll get a payout than pass the eval first try. I'm not really good at evals. I'm gonna be honest. I'll pass them like maybe 5 out of maybe one in every 2 evals, but the data's not a minute late, bro. It's probably just the stream's like a couple seconds behind. FTMO's a great firm, yeah. Can you pass Alpha Futures same day? Only the zero account can you pass same day. The other 2 days. Blue Guardian Futures, nothing wrong with them. You can use them. Have any of your payouts been rejected? Nope. No payouts have been rejected thus far. I've been blessed. I also haven't broken any rules. I'm very making sure I follow them. To be honest, I probably would have broken the news rule, but someone I knew got rejected right when I started trading Alpha because of it, and then I realized and I just made sure I didn't make the mistake. So I found out about that rule pretty early on. I probably would have been rejected though. Or maybe it's because I'm just have a big following and they're like, there's no way we can reject this guy. Why don't you go home for a run? Why don't you go home for runs on evals or maybe just trade NFP, pass or fail? Yeah, it happens. It happens. Listen, the truth is every single time you request a payout, just like when you take a trade, could get rejected, man. Maybe they'll just block you and disappear. I don't know. Who knows? That's why I open up a live account. You have a guide for risk management / how much to risk? That's something, one, that you can't really ask someone, but I can teach you how you should go about it. Don't let someone tell you how much you should risk. That's like the dumbest thing. You have to figure it out for yourself. But I can tell you how you can go about figuring it out for yourself. Are you friends with AA bands? No, I'm not friends with AA bands. What should I watch as a beginner? Probably my ICT Mastery Blueprint series. It teaches you like the beginner stuff. What about the Corin Trader? I don't know what that is. How long should you take to pass an eval? As long as it takes. This alpha has nude restriction. Looks like it's stopped up by nude. Is it blown? It doesn't get blown, but if you get a payout, they will reject it and tell you to restart. Why aren't you reading what I'm writing? It just got zoomed up to the top, bro. Where would you mark out premium and discount today? I would use this range. Okay, good question. Good question, actually, because obviously that range is likely to get taken. Use the entire daily range. If you want to mark out a specific high and low, use the daily range. But realistically, on a day like this, just focus on the opening prices. If we're below 8:30 at midnight, consider that a discount. The reason I say that is because there's no real dealing range. Like, yes, technically, London low to this high, or sorry, this low to this high is the dealing range. But it's like, you know this low is going to get taken and the range is going to keep expanding. So there's no range that you can really trust besides this range. From this low to this high. You know? But if you want a really short-term discount for a trade like this, use the opening prices. Why has price been so choppy? Read the yellow box. Do you think crude oil is easier to trade on evals for beginners? No. It's probably harder. Yeah, I didn't want to be able to withdraw and fund index in 3 days with the 40% still confusing me. Kindly explain. No worries. I will explain consistency rule for the 7,000th time on this live stream. No problem. Consistency rule is simple. It states it's one thing. It's just one sentence. If you can understand this sentence, you know what consistency rule means. When you request a payout, not every single day. You don't have to keep track of your consistency rule every single day. Only when you request payout, okay? When you request a payout. So when you go to your prop firm and you click request payout, make sure that your best trading day, whatever day that is, Monday, last year, Thursday, last month, go to the number one day where you made the most amount of money, okay? Find that number out. You need to know that number. And then look at your total profit on the account. Maybe your total profit's $10,000. All you have to do is make sure that your best trading day does not equal to 40% of your total profits. So let's give an example. If you made $10,000, your best trading day cannot exceed $4,000, because that would mean you made too much money in one day and your trades are not 40% consistent based on how much money you've made. Okay? If you want to get an $800 payout with Funded Next, okay? If you want to get an $800 payout with Funded Next, you want to make it as easy as possible for yourself, meaning make the least amount of money. Your best trading day cannot exceed $320. So if you were to hypothetically make 300, 250, 200, you would have $800 and your best day is only 300, because out of those 3 days, 300 you made the most. You would be 40% consistent. Your winners are consistent by 40% of your total profit. So you take your total profit. The easiest way to do this is simple. Pick a profit target for your accounts. So for example, yeah, you're right, I did the math wrong. For example, Apex has 30% consistency. So in my mind, I tell myself, okay, I want to make $3,000 on the Apex accounts. Okay, I'm going to make $3,000 on my Apex accounts, and then I'll request a payout. I know now 30% of 3,000 is 1,000. So all I have to do is make sure I don't make more than $1,000 in one day. Let's say I accidentally make more. No biggie. It's no problem, okay? Don't request a payout yet because it will get denied. All you have to do is make more money. That's it. If you want to if I want to make $3,000, 30% consistency, and let's say I make too much. I made 1,200. No problem. Now I have to make, instead of making 3,000, I'd have to make, one sec. I would have to make, oh, actually sorry. I'd have to make 4,000. That makes sense. Explain it in terms of evals. So most evals have a 50% consistency rule, which is very simple. You have to make $3,000 and make sure your best day is no more than $1,500. After withdrawal and funded next, they don't require the buffer. But if I withdraw, that means my account reset. If I want to withdraw 1,500 and leave 1,500 as my balance, then you got to make 3,000. That's exactly what a buffer is. That's why I preach alpha futures, because alpha futures, you don't have to do that if you want to keep the account surviving. If you make 1,000, you request 1,000, you have 1,000 left. Gatie, I have backtested over 1 year and have seen that OB has a greater chance to hold when there is a busier SIBI which is tapped before making that OB. Is that true? That is 100% true. Really, if you really want to get into the details, without the fair value gap, there is no order block. Apex has a consistency rule on eval? No. Apex has no consistency rule on the evaluation phase. You can pass in 1 day. What's the scalping rules in 50K? I think it's just, you can't, they're not that hard. Like, unless you literally spam click the button and spam click take profit, you'll be fine. You know, nothing hard. Did you need to trade every? No, you don't. You don't need to trade every day. I would not recommend even trading every day. I trade futures with funded next. What would you say the definition of an order block is? Great question. To my maximum knowledge, the definition of an order block is the price range, right? The price range where the market, I want to say, I got you. The price range, an order block is the price range where the market shifted from sell side to buy side delivery. Okay? That's what. It's a reference point on where the market shifted its delivery. So when we form a bullish order block, the market shifted its delivery. We refer back to that point because if we have now buy side delivery, say we get a bullish order block, if we shift and we get the buy side delivery, this is a bullish order block, we shouldn't invalidate that price range because we're bullish. Should we come back to it, it's a reference point. It's like a pivot point. Very simple idea. Gatie, couldn't we have taken the sell? Yeah, you could have, but look how choppy this is. It probably would have been break even here, if I'm being honest. ATP, just make a video on prop firm rules. Bro, the sad part is, I have made the video on the prop firm rules. I made that video so people stopped asking me questions. But I have chat open today, so it's fine. Rules for trading in news with alpha futures. Very simple. You can trade through news if you want. You can hold it through news. You can trade through news. That's fine. What you can't do is enter a trade 2 minutes before news or 2 minutes after news, and you can't take profits 2 minutes before or after news. I think you can take profits before, but not after. So basically, you can't enter or exit a trade 2 minutes before or after the news candle. Gatie, you can hold through it. Just make sure you don't execute any positions, so no profits or stop losses. Can you explain how to link positions? For example, divide them into 2 targets of contracts. What? What do you mean link positions? I don't understand. I wouldn't recommend buying straight to funded. Just pass the account. It's better return on your investment. Which firm is great for beginners? Alpha Futures, in my opinion, is the best firm for beginners because payout is easiest. Like adding, I'm not sure what he's asking. London lows up. Yep, we're taking London lows. We'll see if we get to Asia. I wasn't aware with the news rule with Alpha. I have standard account and I thought that news events like CPI are the only restricted ones. But orange. It's not orange. They will post in their Discord. Oh, my boy needs 25 bucks more. That's so sad. If you go to Alpha Futures, their Discord, they post. They literally say it every single week. They post where they get their. They use financialjuice.com for things. They post all the stuff that is red folder, and it even tells you the rule. The news rule applies for 2 minutes before and after high impact news. 4-minute period, no orders must be executed. Stop losses and take profits and market orders count as orders. Nothing hidden, all there. I might as well be a customer. No, I actually think that all the time. I should be getting paid for this support, bro. I feel like I help more traders on average with Alpha Futures than their support staff. I take long at 9:45. Don't you think the setup is there? No, because like I said, today is a range day bias. So every single trade probability inside the range is low. If we take extremes, like we might about to now, then, only then can we look for potentially higher. You can't make more than $1,500 a day on Apex. On Apex, there's no consistency rule on evaluation. You can full send it in 1 day. You can do it in 1,000 days. It's completely up to you, as long as you don't blow the account before passing. Are you an ICT trader? Yeah. I think 1050 macros would be the best time to enter a trade. It's definitely good. What's G? My eye, bro. What's good, Finn? No trades yet. What's your win rate? Depends. What model? What time period? We're talking about on average. We're talking about backtest. We're talking about my data. We're talking about my live trading, my live account. Gatie, I don't know why, but I'm not able to pass an eval. I know my model very well. I have a backtest model about 50% win rate average, 1.5 profit factor. I'm like 150, 200 trades. I usually average a 60% average daily win percentage. I'm on a win streak more. Right now, we're on a little bit of a win streak. So, I mean, we've been losing, but we've been ending green. So, I have 50% win. It's a very simple question, Side Prof. Just go back to your losses and see what's happening. You said you don't know why. You got to figure out why. What's a good win rate percentage? You can be profitable with 10% win rate. Just depends on your statistics. What happens if we were trading news and our stop loss gets hit in the 2M window? Great question. You will be not eligible for a payout in that cycle. So you'll have to reset to get a payout. How much you risk on your fund? It's 0.25%. On Apex, 0.3%. SMT on Asia lows, give a chance for something to set up? Yeah. Although I need to see a CISD. So I'd have to see a CISD. So if we see something like this, then I can go long. Otherwise, I have to wait for closure above 23489.5, and that's too much. Do you have an Apex PA account? Yes. I have multiple Apex funded accounts. Do I need to build a buffer to ask for a payout with Alpha Zero plans? No, sir. You do not need to build a buffer. I'm a beginner. Should I start with micro or full contracts? I would always recommend micro. Always, personally. Why always long? Because it's a range day bias and we swept sell side. SFT on Asia, yeah, possible. Although, like I said, I prefer to see the second leg down. What's an SMT? It's where one asset that's correlated to another one. So, for example, my left chart and my right chart, they're correlated assets. If one asset makes a lower low than the other one, that's an SMT. Thoughts on TJR? It makes a lot of money. It's probably my biggest spot. If you were to break the news rule, stop loss during, do you find out you need to reset when you request payout? I think you contact support and ask them, because yeah, I think it depends where you're at. Like, I don't know if you have to request a payout, get denied, then restart, or they can just reset it for you, the cycle. I don't know. But just listen. If you're going to trade through news, remove the stop, remove the take profit, and wait. Have you looked into Powell's model? No. Guy, we have an S&P long now. What? Are you giving me a signal, bro? What's your view on low leverage firms? Each trader to themselves, I guess. How do you know which CISD is valid? There's only one valid CISD right now, and it would be up here. Yo, if I got the email saying I'm getting my payout today, how long until it comes to my bank account? Which prop firm? What is the eval daily draw 100K Apex eval with TradeEvade? I think it's 3,000. I think it's 3,000. What makes a CISD valid? I'd watch my video on CISD because I won't be able to explain it. Because in that video, we do a bunch of examples and I break it down. I have a full video on CISD. I got charged by Telsa for a blown account. Just got a refund. Nice, bro. At least I refunded you. Remove TP and SL. That's Dear Nam Gambling. So you guys have no problem trading through high impact news. That's what you get. If you don't want to deal with the rule, don't trade high impact news. Don't trade through it, you know? Very simple. Yo, is it your code for 15% or 10%? It's whatever the best discount is. So we trade time or price, and if we hold, how long can we hold? Why choose when you can use both? That's one. Do you have any course or mentorship? Yeah, my YouTube channel. Maybe 3 minute FEG holes and group create a second leg to get. Yeah, that's what I would want to see if I'm gonna go long. Because I don't want to take the CISD from up here. I'd want to see something like this. That would be the highest probability scenario. Apex has a 21 age rule though. Really? They do? I don't think that's true. I feel like I used them when I was 20. Yeah, we can get it from ES. If it's a reversal model and the risk to reward is good, yeah, I'll take the CISD right away. It all depends on which model. In this case, it would be a reversal model, and it would be what's it called? And if it's a good risk to reward, like if it's like I'm only gonna get like 1.4 R. Oh, nice, yo. So on funded next, we got a 10% discount now. Lit. We got the 10% discount. Make a Discord announcement. Let's go. Speaking of, we should check the. Hold on, let's see if we get a setup here actually. If ES gives us CISD, we could take the long. Say something like this. Again, this would be an eval trade. And whatever 2R is, we try to squeeze out a high probability 2R. I'd probably try to squeeze it out like this. Ah, man. I feel like 2R on ES is way easier. I messed up the title by accident. So I'm looking at the S&P chart. See if it gives us the CISD. And it does. Alright, so this. Hold on. Oh shit, I just click sell? No, I didn't. This is the trade idea. And we can squeeze out a 2R. And I would look to break even as soon as possible. Let me make this announcement in the Discord. Because it can get sloppy in here, man. It can get real sloppy. Uh, there's probably an inversion somewhere in here. I'm not going to change time frames. This high is like what you really want to be looking for. Just the easiest objective is right here. Let's clean this chart up, man. There's too many annotations. Too many annotations. Um, we'll just look for something like that. And trade would look. Something like this on ES. So this candle, let's say somewhere here. Maybe you can break even there and then hope for like 2R or something. You squeeze it out. You can like squeeze it out there. My full port another Apex account. Does Apex still have 90% off or no? Is it true that NFP mid is weak? I love NFP week. I just don't trade the day before non-farm payroll. Every day in NFP week is usually pretty good except the Thursday. That's why I'm not executing. Anyway, let's make this announcement. If you guys are not on the free Discord, you guys gotta join up. It's lit. That trade would have failed. SMT is still there, but it'll probably break. SMT. The next CISD would be right here. So we can sit there and tape read that. It's gonna go bullish very soon. I would also assume so. But we'll see. Today I've broken my rules and lost 4.5%. If you find yourself breaking rules on days like this, just don't trade days like this. What the heck, trading right now? You made me toxic. Okay. I know you're probably in like bed, all snuggled up and shit. There's an FG in the 15-minute NQ. Let's going straight to it. What are we doing today? Yellow box. Is 956 long invalid? I wouldn't take 956 long. Because we didn't take out that low. So it's not a CISD. Unless ES did. Nah, I didn't. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be a great... I love trading NFP personally. NFP is great. NFP is wonderful. Someone said, I was in short, but news candle canceled that break even. I didn't want to hold through news. Yeah, that's fine. Are you trading alpha futures? Because that wouldn't be good. Is Tradeify good? I don't think they're bad. Don't think they're bad. What is your CST? What does that mean? What's CST? Yeah, it's not good to hold through news, realistically. Short? I personally would not short if I was trading. But it's up to you, man. Time zone? Oh, I'm in New York time. Yeah, you could try the setup again. Same idea. There's probably a 30-second CIST in there. Say you entered long, something like this. Again, it's gonna be hard to fizzle out a 2R, but you can try to finesse it. Put your stop here. Aim for the low-hanging fruit. 8:30 open, -1 tick. You can get it pretty solidly. It's up to you. There's gonna be better trades, but on an eval, it's not a bad idea. I placed the limit and it didn't hit. What? Whoever asked for a Tradeify experience, it's good they approved my payout in 1 hour. There you go. Someone likes Tradeify. Hey, Gatie, what's the Asian and London time zones? I got you, my brother. I'll just say it. Asia is 20:00 Eastern time. This is in Eastern time. 20:00 to 00. I'll just show you, man. Fuck it. It's really real confusing. These are the session times. I just full ported on G. An eval. Hopefully it was an eval. We'll go to previous day's low. Maybe. I think that's kind of an extreme, but it's possible for sure. How do you go live while screen recording the PC? I'm not screen recording. I only screen record once I take a trade. I use OBS Studio. You made mention of CST. I don't know what CST is. Someone just asked me a question. I don't know what that means. Did I say CST? Is that what you're saying? Not really. Oh, CISD. That's what you mean. CISD? Yes, CISD is one of my confirmations for a reversal model. I would watch my YouTube video, brother. That'll probably explain it the best. You're not trading today? I'm gonna make the title next month. I'm gonna make the title day before NFP. No trade day. I'll simply sit here and outline potential taperies for you guys. I don't like doing this because then people lose and then complain. But there's only 2 days I don't trade. Okay, 3 days. Bank holidays, the day before non-farm payroll, and the morning of FOMC. It's 3 days. It's not hard. 3 days. Usually there's no bank holiday, so it's usually just 2 days every month that I do not trade. Every other day, I'm on my live account, I'm on my funded account. I don't care. I'll trade no news Monday. I'll trade no news Monday. As long as it's not the day before NFP and the day of FOMC morning. Now, the day before NFP is not as bad. FOMC morning is a big one. Long TP at 23463. 463. Oh, 463. I'm tripping. I'm like, wait. Hey, man, I like that. Low-hanging fruit. Just take it, you know? Don't go for something too high and then it gets stocked up. Definitely don't trade PM session. That's like a for sure, absolutely no. Do not. I would highly not recommend trading PM session. It's gonna be probably really slow and choppy. How should I go about achieving the 5 winning days requirement on Top Step? I've been trading 10 micros, but think of size 10 is probably too much, bro. I would not look for 1 hour ATM today. What's your thought about targeting equal highs? I think it's a great target. I just want to make sure you guys know that it's typical on days like this. The trades fizzle out. It happens. They fizzle out. You get really good setups and then just it happens. There's not that much fuel on these trades. How long till they approve my payout top step? It should be within 24 hours. Break even? Yeah, you can break even. I always like maybe put your stop loss here. Again, this is a tape read for me. What would I do? I don't know what I would do. I wouldn't take this trade to begin with. No, I didn't enter. Why didn't you enter this trade? Because I. All right. Let's make this really clear. You guys are so good at seeing when I put the P&L tool, or when I put the ticks, or when I put an entry, but when I put a big yellow box, it's like everyone just can't see it. Move it to the right, someone said. All right, let's move it to the right. There's TP. That's low-hanging fruit. Could it go higher? Yeah. If it was another day, would I aim for higher? Yeah. Would I aim for higher today? No. That's my opinion. 2R? Can't really ask for more than 2R, man. In my humble opinion. Although, this is a pretty strong move, so it looks pretty good to continue higher. So there was 2 trades outlined. I'm not going to act like we didn't outline the losing trade. We outlined the losing trade as well. But obviously this trade would have made it back. We also outlined this trade. This trade got stopped out. Whatever it was. I don't know, something like this. That was like this. So I'm not going to act like we didn't outline a losing trade as well. We did. But like I said, it's a paper day. How to identify the low-hanging fruit? My brother, it was just the first high. That's all it was. The first high in premium. So look at this. Take the range. The highest high and lowest low. Okay. See the 50% level? It's hard to see. It's right here. Where my cursor is, that's 50%. Go above 50%, the first level, right there. It's right there. Why aim for the lowest objective? This is why. That's why right there. I saw your bias, but in what situation would you change your mind and take a trade today? No situation, bro. Range day bias. The first thing I said today is if price goes up, look down. And if price goes down, look up. That's what's happened today. It went up, look down. But I don't want to be in trades like this. And to be honest, this isn't even bad price act. This isn't even that bad. This isn't even that bad compared to most. It's just these trades fizzle out. I don't want to tell people when I take an eval trade because they will copy trade my eval trade. And when I take an eval trade and lose, a lot of people send me messages complaining that I didn't take it on my fundeds. So I'd rather just not show eval trades. I'll show you guys every trade I take on my funded because I know people will copy. And that way when we copy, we all lose together. And I don't get that much hate. If I do an eval trade, I'm like, all right, guys, I'm in this on my eval. And then everyone else can't control themselves. They execute on their fundeds. And then they complain when they lose because I'm only trading the eval because I can afford to lose the eval. I don't want to even spend a lot of days on the eval. Yeah, I mean, F those people. I agree. But I'd rather not have my DMs flooded. So I'll just sit here and tape read all the setups that I could take on an eval. I had to risk less on the second one, so I'm not back to break even. Why'd you have to risk less on the second one? That's not good. You're supposed to make more than you lose, not make less than you lose. This is A plus. I took this. It's a pretty good setup, yeah. Why will the hey bro? It's their problem, their decision. Because I don't know, man. Usually people say like, "Oh, why would you take it not on funded, only on eval?" And I say like, "Bro, look at the big yellow box." I wouldn't say A plus setup. Sure, I could argue that this formation in price is pretty clean, but the narrative is not strong. The range day narrative is never a strong narrative. Can you explain the trade you took? CISD, target low hanging fruit from sell side. Same trade here from sell side. CISD, lower time frame. I said 30 second, 15 second. Target the low hanging fruit from sell side. Like I said, best setups, extreme of range, targeting inside the range. I guess I never put the word in. And that's exactly what this is. There's a setup here. I even said you could take this setup. So I'm putting this annotation here as well. And just look for like anything that you can finesse a 2R out of, do it. Outside the range, target in. Outside the range, target in. Outside the range, target in. Etc., etc. You can at least average around 2R. Even if you win 4 out of 10 of these trades, it's still profitable, right? So, yeah, there's probably an edge there. I'm sure you could probably win like 50% of them. So if you average 2R, you're good. But just went in with 50 macros. Good luck, bro. It took a demand zone in that level. It took sell side liquidity. I like Asia low. Asia low. Yep, and it's Ali for back. I didn't even zoom out once today. Just marked out the sell side. Appreciate you, Finn. What is the difference between eval and prop firm? Prop firm is the company. You purchase evals from them. Even though that kind, you gotta pass. Exactly. I hate gold. You got a payout Miska? Nice, bro. I'm proud of you, man. What strategy are you using? My strategy, power 3. Combining the weekly, daily, and intraday 930 power of 3. Would you short today? If it goes higher, I would short. But like I said, the higher time frame bias is bullish. So you probably have a smaller probability of moving higher. Power of 3 isn't your strategy. If you find me one other person who trades the 930 power of 3 the way I do, then I will take back my statement. But I haven't met anyone or heard anyone even say the words 930 power of 3. ICT created it. ICT did not even create the power of 3. So you're also mistaken there. What was your entry confirmation? The inversion. What's the Alpha 1 funded payout rule? Alpha 1? What's Alpha 1, bro? ICT rebranded most concepts except time. A lot of them were rebranded, but a lot of them were not. Gatie, from experience and data. But a lot of them he never claimed. Like a lot of, like for example, new week opening gaps and opening range gaps. He never claimed to invent those. He just teaches them differently from other people. You know? No one hates on ICT. I guess people do hate on him. But a lot of people don't hate on him for like no one says like it said that's what I say, is it my this is my power of 3. Yes, I didn't discover or invent the power of 3. Nobody did. A power of 3 is just a candle. That's how the candle forms. How I trade it is completely different to how other people trade it. You know? So that's why I say it's my model. Just like when ICT teaches new week opening gaps. That's not his concept. But the way he tells you to use the new week opening gap is completely different to every other person. ICT did not create power 3. Who created? There were people way before ICT created power 3. ICT's mentor, Larry Williams, also traded the power of 3 to some degree. You validate my funded account. And like I said, it's like saying someone invented running. No, like how do you run? I run with this strategy. Like I run with this. Okay, am I running? Do I run my run or do I run how someone else? Like it's your own. No, I'm not ICT's grandson. That'd be cool though. Pick partials way too early. I mean, if you were gonna partial at the low hanging fruit, and then hope for runners. But yeah, no need to partial before because I mean you took the trade expecting that, right? So William didn't trade the power three. I don't think you read William's book, so I think you're mistaken. And I did read William's book, and he did mention the power three. I got shaky. It happens, bro. What's the Alpha Capital Group payout rule? I'm gonna be honest, bro. I'm not too acknowledged with the CFD rules. Nope, I didn't take any of these setups actually. These were all just outlined beforehand. Which Larry book? I forget the name, but it talks about his model. I'm so hyped as well, Mr. Dollar. It's gonna be so much better, bro. I CBA with some of this stuff. Today's my rest day, actually. I did 3 days in a row. I'm gonna rest today. When do I start switching on my day ones? When they switch up on you. Gatie, I'm 876 on my Fund X 25K. Thanks for getting me on. There you go, bro. I think, are you eligible for payout? Did you do it in 3 days? I think as long as your best day wasn't like 330 or something, you should be fine. 876 times 40%. As long as you didn't make more than 350, there's your payout, bro. I would take it and get another one. Are you still going to trade your eval? Nah, if I'm being honest. Probably not anymore. I just took this long and it was fuck paper. Secret to the long-term trading. I did look at that one. I think that one. That might be the one. Why do you prefer futures over CFD? In CFD, you have big DD and you get whatever you make. You need no buffer. Futures data is better because it's centralized across every single brokerage. Is there a consistency rule on the Alpha Futures eval? Yeah, 50%. So you can pass in two trades, 2 days. What did you say on Fund X? Are there any secret rules that stop you from payouts? I don't think so. Fund X is pretty straightforward. You just have to get your 40% consistency. Is there on the zero? On the Alpha Zero, no. You can pass in 1 day on eval. You gonna wait for 1050? If Tuesday high gets taken here, I'll probably just call a tape reading session there. That's all I really would want to see. Made a 1K on the day. Thank you, Jesus. Book recommendations. Trading in the Zone. Market Wizards are my favorite 2 books. How far is pumping? I wouldn't expect much more than Tuesday's high. Please check my message above. I got you. Gatie, in from your experience and data, do your CICs must take liquidity just from a recent pool or a key level PD rate? Great question. The answer is very simple. If it's a 930 reversal, it can be from short-term objectives. For example, from here to here. If it's a daily reversal, so a daily power of 3, I'm looking for a daily candle flip. It needs to be what's it called? It needs to be a higher time frame level, like you said. Guys, I bought the new ChatGPT, the ChatGPT Plus. It's lit. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Who first discovered the power of 3? I know sure it wasn't ICT because ICT learned it from Larry Williams. The way ICT taught it was completely different than everyone else. But that's the same thing as me. The way I teach my power of 3 is not how ICT teaches it. Enhanced Pro? No, I'm not. That's just like $200 a month, bro. No, mine. This trade. Wyckoff talked about accumulation, manipulation, distribution in 1930. Jesse Livermore talked about the accumulate and distributions. Accumulate liquidity, expand the move, offload the inventory. That was 1970s from market maker models. Dow theory in the late 1800s, 1900s. They talked about the three phases of price. Phases are accumulation, public participation, which is the manipulation, and then the distribution. It's way before ICT, man. He did not invent it. It's just the way he taught it is different. That's it. That's all it is. And that's his power of three. I'm not saying he trades Wyckoff. I'm not saying he teaches Wyckoff. In fact, it's a very different. I'm just saying that's where he learned it from. That's where he learned it from. And that's what I'm saying I did. I learned it from ICT, and I feel I've made it my own. I mean, I've never heard ICT once in his life say 930 power of 3. And that's exactly what I look to trade from the 930 opening price. Steve Morrow and Stacey Brook also teach us differently. Whatever floats your float. Whatever floats your boat, yeah. Damn, bro, took the same trades. Great price action today. Nice. You think price going higher? I think the immediate draw is Tuesday's high. But let's check the stock market real quick. Nothing I can really buy. It's all pretty much a couple bucks off my entry. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, they made 1K on my 0K. My balance right is now. Keep it slow, brother. Keep it slow. He teaches the concepts. Yes, he does teach those concepts. But like I said, I don't just trade it like that. I don't just trade the Judas swing. Like when I take, for example, a trade like this, my protraction model, it's still under the narrative, right? It's still under the narrative of the 930 power of 3 expansion. I also look for it every single 30 minutes in a lower time frame power of 3, which is something ICT does not teach. So it's just different. There's a lot of concepts that I took from ICT and molded them into my. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You guys want to say ICT? Sure, right? ICT's my. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference to me. What about Tuesday high? Are you talking about? I think that's the immediate draw on liquidity. The third tape replay out into the second because. Yep, I would probably say that's why. And this wasn't a tape read, but I mean, if you guys know, this is my projection model. You guys know, for those of you who know. Fair value gap, OB, inversion. I keep blowing accounts after reaching every close path. Suggestions. Watch my video on fear. It will help. You have a video about 930 power 3? I have a series on 930 power 3. If you know, you know. That's what I'm saying. And NFP high probable. NFP, on the day of NFP, you usually get a lot of volatility and a lot of big range. So what I like to do, I like to take my risk, divide it by half, and look for high risk to reward setups, as well as look to add positions because I'm halving my risk originally. The reason I can do that is because usually the range is pretty large, you know? So for example, if I took a long here and I'm expecting to move all the way to here, I can just half my risk and add positions along the way to get my TP up. People say it's not good. Why? I don't know why they say it's not good. I think it's great. Maybe because it's volatile and risky. Well, no trade day for me. Headed back to tomorrow, YouTube Defender. See you tomorrow, Taylor. Valid, thank you. There you go, my brother. I'm in longs entry 44.2448. You got an entry at 448.25. SL 490. Oh, you put your SL this short term low. It is a protraction model, so that's where I would have my stop too if I was trailing it. And you're looking for best case scenario 548, this high here, which is also Tuesday high 555. Yeah, I mean, did you take anything off the position yet? I think that's not a bad. I'm giving you my personal opinion based on my model. So this isn't necessarily what's best for you. But what would be best for me is that I would only run that situation assuming I took the bulk of the position off already. I would view this as a bullish order block, but to be honest, there's probably, what, is that a 5-minute fair value gap in there? Yeah, see, there's a 5-minute right there. 3, 2, 4, 5-minute, yeah. It's not a bad stop. You might get wicked out, but as long as you secured like around 1, you got a good fill. You could have easily gotten 2R on that trade, so that's good. Do you get something when someone pass a cut with your cut? Nah. That'd be nice, though. That would be nice. Then that would really help people try to pass. Take profit trader. There's solid option. There's solid option. I prefer, if I'm going to have to deal with the live trailing drawdown, I'd rather deal with that with Apex. But that's just me. Well, boys, I appreciate you guys coming through. I'm going to end the stream early because, well, one, I'm not trading. You ever play risk management in the casino? Yeah, hell yeah, I do, bro. I'm already on that. You know, NBA season starting. You know. Anyways, I appreciate you guys coming through. More questions? If you guys have a question, go ahead and ask. If I couldn't trade alpha, what should I? I would honestly listen. I would honestly consider looking into funded next. Look at the information because it's honestly also really easy to get a payout. You just need 3 winning days, 40% consistency. It's similar. It's similar. Don't need the sauce. I got you. Just take a screenshot right now. It's just those two. Yeah, I think you'd like that firm, Adrian, to be honest. It's pretty cheap as well. Summary plan for tomorrow. Most likely bullish, but I have to see what today does. 1% better every day W stream. That's it. That's what it is, bro. That's exactly what it is. 1% better. If you were to go back and watch all my streams from day one, you'll definitely see that 1% better, you know? People always say, oh, what was your aha moment? There's no aha moment. I showed up every day and I got 1% better. Is FundedX Futures also on TradingView? Yep, you can use TradingView with them. What's my best playlist on YouTube? My psychology series. Yep, I'm gonna message you. I'll message you right after this, and then I'll do some videos after record. All right, boys. I appreciate you guys coming through. Take advantage of the Alpha Futures no activation fee advanced account. And Funded Next. I have 10% off Funded Next now, which is nice. And I will see you guys live tomorrow for non-farm payroll. Hopefully we can end the week nice and strong. Alpha Futures is a really good option, yes. All right, boys. Take care. Till next time. You can join the Discord. The link's in the description, bro. It's free.